All right, welcome in, you guys. We got One Piece, chapter 1123, full spoilers today. I haven't read them as per usual. You know, we're going to be going through this step by step together. And yeah, I'm excited. So we got a 17-page chapter, chapter 1123, the 2-week void. That sounds really cool, by the way. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I think of the Void Century immediately when I hear the word void. But, you know, already, it's kind of a banger title. So now, Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 11. Denjiro punishes the kids by having them eat Odin with the person they hate. That's a really good one. You know, that's a good lesson. We can't have the kids always hate Yamato. We need them to grow up and learn that Yamato isn't, you know, evil. Yamato isn't trying to enslave all of Wano like her father. So yeah, having them eat dinner with her, I think is a fantastic idea. And hey, maybe if anybody tries to fight Yamato now, she'll have her own, like, Usopp pirates, right? Because Usopp had like 3 little kids. Maybe Yamato will have the same thing. Just a bunch of kids fighting for her. So, we go down though. The chapter starts on Egghead Island. We see that all Marines have fainted, including the Vice Admirals, dude. Why? What a stray. What an absolute stray. Last week, I already went on the rant last time. But you guys know how I feel about this, guys. Come on. Come on. Oda had them survive the attack only to kill him this time around. Well, not kill him, but, you know, have him pass out. Come on. S-Snake, still inside the bubble, is trying to wake them up to quickly go after Straw Hat. Oh, so all the Seraphim are still in the bubbles. They survived a lot. I mean, they fell from a sky island, they got sucked in by Jupiter and spit out onto the ships. And they're still in the bubbles. That's crazy. Elbaf ship, Luffy's Gear 5 gives thanks to the giant robot for its help, but there's no reaction from Emmet. It's kind of sad. Hey, Emmet, thanks for the help. And then Emmet is just like, you know, stone-faced, you know, Saturn's about to, like, beat him up or, like, put him in the scrap heap. That's funny, that's funny. Dory and Brogy say they can't feel the enemy's presence at all since they have all fainted. Dory says that Conqueror's Haki may be even stronger than Red Hair's Haki. Yeah, I think that's kind of like the joy of it, right? There's always somebody stronger out there. So now, Elbaf ship and the Thousand Sunny set sail together to Elbaf. We see Child Bonnie sleeping on top of Kuma. Zoro is relaxed, and Usopp is crying while he greets Dory and Brogy from the Sunny, and Luffy's wrinkled form is lying on Nami. Oh, lying on Nami's lap. Okay, okay. We're literally just chilling. Like, we're all hanging out now. Like, we are smooth sailing. I know some people think that we're going to go back to the island or, you know, somebody's going to chase us, but I really don't see it, man. I really don't see it. So we go down, and Sanji stands alone, looking at Vegapunk's body that is lying on a futon. Sanji says, I really don't feel comfortable with what you said back there, Vegapunk. Is this how you wanted things to turn out? I didn't catch you clearly, but you said some crazy lines. Then, we start a flashback that takes place 2 weeks ago on Egghead Island. Shaka discovered that there was a change in the data from the power plant, so he showed the information to Vegapunk and Pythag. Also, wait, okay. York! How did she not suspect this would happen, right? She's supposed to be a Vegapunk. She took data and then didn't realize there'd be a change in the data? Like, that's crazy. That's so crazy to me. York did not really think this one through. Shaka says, please look at this. There are some changes in the particle number density and neutron flux. The energy being used on the Seraphim have been increased gradually. If this is a mistake, it's a serious issue. Oh, wait. I thought this was going to be with the Mother Flame. Oh. So York was changing the energy being used on the Seraphim? Or were the Seraphim being powered by the Mother Flame? And by taking some, the Seraphim power increased No, that wouldn't make sense. Pythagoras says, huh, this is different from the data we recorded. Shaka says the changes were cleverly hidden in okay, cleverly hidden. There we go. You gotta throw York a bone, right? Cleverly hidden. Okay, I like that. I like that. Vegapunk says, so the culprit is one of the Vegapunks. Could it be Lilith? Shaka says, only the 3 of us have a perfect alibi. An enormous amount of energy has been stolen. All right, so going on now. Vegapunk says one of the 4 remaining is the culprit, especially Lilith. Yo, Vegapunk has a hard-on for Lilith. Look, he says Lilith up here, you know, like, oh, could it be Lilith? And then it goes down, and he says, especially Lilith. Like, I get it, right? Like, Lilith is the evil Vegapunk, I understand. But, yo, he's really just throwing everything her way. So Pythagoras says, that's why You would to turn our brain onto stealth mode. There's a stealth mode on Punk Records? Shaka says correct. If we upload this experience to Punk Records, Lilith, the culprit, will also be... Dude, they all think it's Lilith! Even Shaka thinks it's Lilith. I mean, okay, to be fair, the entire fan base also thought it was Lilith because she was the evil Vegapunk when she was first introduced, but it's almost too obvious. But then again, like, Lilith is evil, and then York is greed. Like, they're both kind of bad, you know? They're both kind of bad. Well, and then there's Atlas, who's wrath. Yeah, Atlas is wrath. Damn. All the girls have, like, these negative emotions. Let me see. Shaka is logic, and then we have Edison, who's the thinker, and then Pythagoras. Dude, oh yeah, wait, what the heck? All the women are bad. That's crazy. So it says then, the three of them investigated together during some days, and 1 week later, they discovered the real culprit. And Pythagoras says, oh no, I found the culprit, it's York. Vegapunk and Shaka say what? Pythagoras discovered that the information York uploaded to Punk Records were fake memories, and that she manipulated Den Den Mushi videos too. Shaka also found records of York manipulating Sea Beast weaponry. She also manipulated Sea Beast weaponry? Oh, that's for CP0. Yeah. That's for CP0. The Den Den Mushis are probably so she can bring the people onto the island without anybody noticing. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I like that. Vegapunk says, but why? And I'm sorry, Lilith. It was my mistake to use greed to create a person. Okay, he could have said this about Lilith too, right? Like, it was my mistake to use evil to create somebody. You know, it's my mistake to use wrath and violence to create somebody. So they also hear a recording of York's communications with... Oh! They heard the recording of York's communications with the 5 elders from the data Vegapunk could recover. York used a white Den Den Mushi to send messages to Marie Ra, saying Dr. Vegapunk is studying the Void Century. Vegapunk then understood why CP visited them so many times recently. 1 day later, 6 days ago from the... Wow, we're getting like a very accurate timeline. Oda doesn't often do this, where he's like, hey, like this amount of days. So it's kind of cool seeing it here. You know, because like one of the main things with One Piece is that we don't know how much time passes from one island to another. Like Wano to Agate Island, for example. Like, we're assuming it's probably a week, but we don't know. It could have been a day, could have been 2 days. So it's kind of cool seeing Oda do it right here, you know? So, Lulusia Kingdom was eliminated. After hearing about what happened to Lulusia Okoku, Vegapunk deduced that York stole a portion of the Mother Flame, and then she sent it to the world government using a Sea Beast weapon. Oh. Huh? How do you transport the Mother Flame with a Sea Beast? I mean, I guess the flame isn't supposed to extinguish theoretically, so I guess they could just go underwater, but like, what happens? Like, does the Sea Beast put it in its mouth? Does it like swallow it? Does it like hold it? Man, we don't know. Vegapunk says, so the world government possesses an ancient weapon? Question mark? Shaka said maybe they could capture York themselves, but Vegapunk said it's too late. No matter what York's goal is, she proved the world government that she's useful to them thanks to the Mother Flame. So the other Vegapunks who learned about the Void Century will all be erased. See, this is kind of what I fell back on yesterday, because my gut reaction was like, hey, why didn't they just capture York? And then if we go back to this Lulusia thing, right? Not even Lulusia, but when York gave them the Mother Flame, that was 3 months ago. We actually have a time frame for that. So yeah, everything is already set in motion. It's definitely way too late to capture her. Vegapunk says, prepare a ship so all the inhabitants of Egghead Island can escape. But that is not an option for us. All marine bases already got secret orders to arrest us. They'll chase us to the end of the world, so we will end up dying anyways no matter where. But we have the devices that Ohara didn't 22 years ago. We have a way to broadcast our voice far and wide. The closer I get, the darker it is to see. What exactly is the world government? That's kind of cool. Yeah, the closer I get, the darker it is to see. I will not let my death be in vain. Vegapunk also said that there's one more technology that must be protected. The Kumo Futo, in Japanese, which can be translated as cloft, which is a combination of cloud and craft. The machine to create island clouds. It's the giant bottle in the middle of Egghead Island. We must save it, since island clouds can be very useful for humanity if the world Yo! Yeah, island clouds, okay. So Vegapunk could just make those easily. This right here is a really solid idea back when we first learned that the world was sinking, but we didn't know Vegapunk could just pump them out, or if this was something that was only tied to Egghead Island, right? So the fact that he could just make more of these is kind of insane. But, did he give this to somebody already? Because, like, you know, he said that they're all gonna die no matter where they go. He didn't predict that one Vegapunk would make it out. You know, like, Lilith is still alive. She can definitely make more of these. But ideally, if you're expecting all of your bodies to die except for York, and all you do is put out the message, and the message doesn't include the Kumafuto, did he give this to somebody so that they could make island clouds after he's gone? Who's not Lilith, right? I guess Judge and Caesar would be kind of solid for that, yeah? His two former colleagues? Because outside of them, I don't know who else would make island clouds, right? You know, like, you can have the technology there, but you need a genius to work it. So yeah, I mean, maybe he foresighted that Lilith would survive, or maybe he gave this to somebody. Let's see. After that, we see that Vegapunk started modifying the inside of the ancient giant robot to house the transmission Dendenmushi. One day, York found him and asked what Vegapunk is doing. Vegapunk's probably sweating his balls off. Vegapunk says, I'm trying to make the robot move with the Mother Flame. And York says, I hope the Mother Flame will be perfected soon. And then Vegapunk says, the fact that the Mother Flame is still imperfect is our only hope. And this is recent, right? Because they found out that York was a traitor a week ago. A day later, Lelucia happened. So we are within the week the Straw Hats made it here. So the Mother Flame that we see here on this island, not ready. It's still not ready. I feel like they need Luffy to perfect it, right? I feel like that's not crazy, considering Luffy's the Sun God. You know, I'm sure the Sun God has something to do with the eternal Mother Flame. So yeah, I feel like Luffy will perfect this somehow, some way. Don't know why, don't know how, right? Luffy's not exactly a scientist, but I think that is in the cards eventually. So now, 2 days ago from the present, Vegapunk, Shaka, and Pythagoras did the recordings for the worldwide broadcast. That's why we only see 3 of them in the video. And after the recordings, Vegapunk, Shaka, and Pythagoras wiped their memories during the past 2 weeks. That way, their plan will never be exposed, knowing that the knowledge about York being a traitor will be wiped away as well. Vegapunk says, the disaster that is going to happen is precisely what will bring about our victory. When Vegapunk woke up from the memory erasure, he found a note left by himself saying that the research was leaked to the world government and they will die soon. That's kind of funny. Yo, like, we're all dead, man. Like, it's set in stone, guys. I took a nap. I saw our gravestone. We're cooked. We're cooked, guys. We're cooked. Vegapunk's note says, however, during this 2-week void, we have already prepared the countermeasure. Please believe in yourself and die. And one more thing. Okay, so yeah, it's exactly what we thought of last time around, right? The whole, like, please believe in yourself and die notion. This is pretty much... What's a good way to put it? It's like having a live, laugh, love on your wall, right? It's like having a motivational quote, like, you know, wake up and smell the coffee grinds and start grinding yourself. Like, it's something like that. You know, Vegapunk just wanted to pump himself up. You know, don't be scared. You got this, buddy. And that's pretty cool. I like that. All right, so one more thing. What does he say here? Suddenly, the scene changes to the moment when Vegapunk, with Sanji, Atlas, and Frankie, were riding on the Vegatank 8 towards the lower part of Egghead when Marines first attacked the island. Vegapunk told Sanji that he never intended to go back up and he will remain on the lower part of Egghead. Yeah, that's cool. The fun part about this is that he's going down to save Bonnie too. You know, he's throwing it all away right here. Vegapunk also said that if possible, he wants Sanji to leave him to die. And Vegapunk says, I feel like if I die, I think something important will happen, you know. I feel like something crazy might just happen when I kick the bucket. I love how he's kind of beating around the bush as if he doesn't have a message planned. Like, I feel like this is happening. I don't know. Just something's really egging me in the head right now. Sanji says, of course, it would cause an uproar. I can't just let you die. And Vegapunk says, please do. I beg of you. And also, Sanji says, what is it? And then in the last page of the chapter, we go back to the present. The giant warrior pirates are celebrating that they are with their friends. We only see the giant warrior pirates, not the full Straw Hat crew. Okay, so we see some of the Straw Hat crew, but not the full crew. And the giants are saying, "Ooh, a toast to the reunion with our friends." Usopp is celebrating on top of Dory's hand. Brogy is grabbing Luffy, that is in his wrinkled form, lol, and Chopper is on Brogy's beard. All of them are happy except Luffy, who can't celebrate because he can't move in his wrinkled form. And Luffy says, "Wait, celebrate it later. Later." Usopp says, "Whoa, to Elbaf, the land of my dream." And then Brogy and Dory start laughing, and while we watch in celebration, we can read what Vegapunk wanted to tell Sanji in Egghead Island. Vegapunk says, "Oh, and about the One Piece, I wish that it will be you guys who obtain it." End of chapter, no break next week. All right, so there you have it. That is the chapter. Gotta say, I am surprised that we did spend the entire chapter with Vegapunk in this flashback. I think Oda pulled it off. You know, personally, I am a big fan of mysteries, and the trader thing had a lot of inconsistencies, you know, or at least a lot of things that didn't make sense at the time, given the information we had. Like the memory sync thing didn't make sense. York not being caught didn't make sense. How they delivered the Mother Flame didn't make sense. But Oda went back, he tackled all of it. And as a fan of mysteries and just, you know, things like this, I actually like this chapter. Would I have wanted to get more of present-day Egghead Island? Oh, of course, 100%, right? I'm still really curious to see what happened to Kizaru, Saturn, Emeth even. Like, what are they gonna do with him? Like, are they going to try to scrap Emeth? I'm just curious to see what's happening on that front. Same with Sentomaru, same with CP0, and even Stussy. There's a lot of loose ends on that island. Even though we are going to Elbaf, typically when we do leave, we spend time around the world, right? So maybe next chapter we could get a Cross Guild chapter, maybe a Boa Hancock update, a Revolutionary update. There's a chance we could even get an Emu and Gorosei update, which I think would be pretty fun, right? Like, I want to see what Emu's reaction is going to be towards the Gorosei's failure. Well, maybe not a failure. Like, it's a failure and a success, right? They got some W's, they caught some L's. It's very 50-50. So I want to see how Emu handles that as a leader, right? Because Emu's been ruling the world in the shadows for 900 years. I want to see what his take on the Gorosei's performance will be like. So outside of that, though, yeah, the Straw Hats going to Elbaf, I think that's great and dandy. It's kind of cool how Oda didn't show all the Straw Hats in the final pages, right? He just showed Luffy, Chopper, and Usopp, right? It makes me wonder if they're going to get the main focus on Elbaf, which I think would make a lot of sense. Because for Usopp, that's the land of his dreams. And then for Luffy, he's the sun god, and those guys worship that dude. And then as far as Chopper goes, I thought that was an interesting one to add in. But there is still, I don't even know what to call it, like some mystery behind Chopper's devil fruit. Like, it's a mushroom-shaped devil fruit. He has the human fruit, but he doesn't look like a human. He doesn't have like a full Zoan human transformation. So maybe we'll get some good old expansions on that. But yeah, with that being said though, guys, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out this video with me. I really freaking appreciate it. And I will catch you guys on the next chapter of One Piece, or just whenever this chapter comes out. Peace out, y'all.